Welcome everyone to our video. Let's continue with our topic circle. In the last video we studied certain terms that we will be using frequently in this chapter. Today we plan to study some properties of a circle and then how do we use it in the problems. Now the first property for the day. The radius drawn at the point of contact of a tangent is perpendicular to the tangent. It states that if I draw a tangent to the circle and if I draw a radius is obviously from the center to the point of contact. If I connect this point of contact of the tangent and the radius, labeling it as O always as the center, tangent PQ and point of contact T, then this property states that the radius is perpendicular to the tangent. So no matter I draw infinite number of tangents, and if I draw a radius at the point of contact of the tangent, that radius will be perpendicular to the tangent. That means the angle between the radius and the tangent is 90 degrees. Okay, the next property states that two tangents can be drawn from a point outside to the circle. Okay, that is, if I draw two tangents from one point that is outside the circle, so how will the tangent be? The tangent always, remember, the tangent always connects to the circle only at one point. That means, so if my point is over here, the point outside the circle, then I'll be able to draw a tangent passing through that point from here at this point, and the other point will be over here. There will be no other chance of drawing a tangent to the same circle from this same point. So that's the first statement. If this point is supposed to be T and if this point of contact is supposed to be A and this is supposed to be B, then two tangents can be drawn from a point outside the circle. That is, from here outside the circle I can draw only two tangents to the given circle from this point. And if I label these tangents as TA and TB, the length of TA and the length of TB will be equal. So this is the second property, that two tangents can be drawn from this point to the same circle and the length of the tangents from that point to the circle or to the point of contact of the circle will be equal. So if I want to write, I'll be writing it as TA is equal to TB. Okay, so my third and the last property for the day of a circle states that an angle inscribed in a semicircle is called an angle in a semicircle. First we'll study that and we'll study the second half of the property. Now what does it mean by angle inscribed in a semicircle? How do we know that it's a semicircle? If a chord passes through the center, then that chord is called as diameter, and the diameter subtends the arc on the circumference, which is called as a semicircle. So if I remove this, I don't need the other half. So the angle inscribed in this means the angle should be on the circle. So no matter, suppose I take this point, let that point be P, and we know that this is a semicircle. So the angle made when I connect AP and PB, this is called as angle inscribed in the semicircle. And the second half of the property states that the angle is equal to 90 degrees. So no matter where the point lies on the circle, if it is subtended from the two ends of the diameter, that is, if it is inscribed in the semicircle, that angle measures 90 degrees. If I draw a point over here, let this point be Q, and I connect this AQ and BQ, so this angle will also be 90 degrees. So this is the speciality of this property. That angle inscribed in a semicircle is called angle in a semicircle, which measures 90 degrees. Now let's solve problems based on these properties which we have studied today in the video. So in this question, we see a circle. There are two triangles inscribed in the semicircle. Since AOC is a diameter, AC is a diameter passing through O, we are supposed to find the value of X and Y given in the question. Now, from the properties that we have studied, we can make out that angle ABC is inscribed in this semicircle. Hence, the angle will be 90 degrees. It's not given. We need to know it from the properties of the circle. Also, this angle ADC is inscribed in the semicircle, and hence it should be 90 degrees. So we are supposed to write, giving a reason, angle ABC is equal to angle ADC is equal to 90 degrees. Reason, angles inscribed in a semicircle. Now, as we have studied angle sum property of triangle, we can see we can use it in this triangle 30, X and 90. So we can find the value of X. So before that, I'll write in triangle ABC, angle ABC plus angle BAC plus angle BCA is equal to 180 degrees. Angle sum property of triangle. I am writing in short form. In exams you are supposed to write full statements. So angle ABC is 90 degrees, we have found from here, plus angle BAC is given as 30 degrees, plus X gives me 180 degree. Therefore, keeping X on one side, 90 plus 30, 120, 120, subtracting 120 from both the sides, we get 180 minus 120, which is nothing but 60 degrees. So we have found X is equal to 60 degrees. Now let us move towards our next target, that is Y. Now we have been given that CD is equal to AD. So what kind of triangle it will form? In triangle ADC, yeah, guess it. I have given time for you all to guess what kind of triangle it will be. AD is equal to CD. Therefore, triangle ADC is an isosceles triangle. That means the angles DAC will be equal to angle DCA, one of which is given as Y. Okay, so angle DAC is equal to angle DCA, that is Y. Now in this triangle, let's try angle sum property, because this also we can write as Y. So we know this is 90 degrees from this property, and Y and Y. Therefore, angle ADC plus angle DAC plus angle DCA is equal to 180 degrees. Reason, you will write angle sum property of triangle. Therefore, what is ADC? ADC, we have 90 degrees. plus y and y, they both are equal. So can I write 2y? 180 degrees. Therefore, keeping 2y over here, subtracting 90 from both the sides, we get 180 minus 90, that is 90. Therefore, y dividing by 2 on both the sides of the equal is equal to sign 45 degrees. With this, we have found both the values. X is equal to 60 degrees and y is equal to 45 degrees. I hope that's clear with all of you. Okay, let's move on the next question. We are given there's a circle, a tangent PQS, radius OR, the other line segment moving from P till R. At center we have one angle subtended by PQ. Next there's another angle ORQ on the circle. So here we are supposed to find the value of X and Y. My first step will be moving from this corner, and let's see how will I be able to find X. From our first property, the tangent and radius, there are two things given over here. So the radius at the point of contact to the tangent is perpendicular to the tangent. So we know one of the first properties that we have studied today, that this angle is 90 degree. Hence I'll write angle PQO is equal to 90 degrees. Property stating radius is perpendicular to tangent at the point of contact. Hence we got one of the angles in this triangle, second angle we know, and the third angle we are supposed to find out. In triangle PQO, angle POQ plus angle PQO plus angle OPQ is equal to 180 degrees. Reason, angle sum property of triangle. Okay, POQ is X, we are supposed to find the value of X. PQO is 90 degrees from here, and this is 20 degrees. We get it as 180 degree. Now this becomes mental math. I'll keep unknown variable on one side, all the known numbers on the other side. 90 plus 20 will give me 110, that is 110. Subtracting 110 from both the sides, 180 minus 110, we get 70 degrees. Let's move on to my next target to find Y. We see that this angle POQ, that is X, and angle QOR are linear pair angles. So their sum will be 180 degrees. With that I'll be able to find QOR. And the next thing is, see this triangle QOR. This one side is equal to the other side because they both are the radius of the same circle. So this forms an isosceles triangle. That means the opposite angles will also be equal. So this will also be Y. So with that we will be able to find Y, and this we have found in the previous step. So let's move ahead. Angle POQ and I'll write directly the equation. Angle POQ plus angle ROQ is equal to 180 degrees. Linear pair of angles. Therefore my angle ROQ, POQ is X and X is 70 degrees. ROQ I am supposed to find is equal to 180 degrees. Subtracting 70 from both the sides, I get angle ROQ is equal to 110 degrees. So this I get it as 110, that is 110 degrees. Now let's move inside the triangle. in triangle QOR, I'll first prove that this is an isosceles triangle. So therefore I need to write the reason or justification why or how do I claim that it's an isosceles triangle. So QO is equal to RO. Reason: radii of same circle. Okay, therefore triangle QOR is an isosceles triangle. Now can I use the property angle OQR is equal to angle ORQ, which is equal to Y. Therefore angle sum property of this triangle, angle QOR plus angle OQR plus angle ORQ is equal to 180 degrees. Angle sum property of triangle QOR we know 110 plus OQR and ORQ, they both are equal to Y. So Y plus Y will give me 2Y, that is nothing but 180 degrees. Subtracting 110 from both the sides, I get 2Y is equal to 70 degrees. 180 minus 10, 110. Therefore Y is equal to 35 degrees. So we got both the angles. X is equal to 70 degrees, Y is equal to 35 degrees. Whenever you see a problem, you just aim at one thing, or you just need to decide what will be the first target out of the several targets. So the easiest targets would be those in which only one variable is not known and the others are known. Hence we moved towards this corner. If anything would have been given over here, I would have started from Y. That's the logic. Okay, let's start with another type of problem that involves the length. Okay, the length of the various segments, radii, diameter, chord. Okay, find AC and CD, that is AC and CD. So utilizing the resources that we have, that is the property that we have studied, the angle inscribed in a semicircle. Since this is the diameter, AC, O is the center, AC is the diameter, so the angle inscribed in this semicircle is 90 degrees. So I'll mark it as 90 degree. Over here same 90 degree. So if you remember Pythagoras theorem, it deals with the triangles having 90 degrees or right angles. If you can quickly recollect what does the Pythagoras theorem state, you may do so quickly. Pythagoras theorem states that if there is a triangle having right angle over here, so this side is called as the hypotenuse, and these are the other two sides forming right angle. So if this is my A, C and B, so hypotenuse square, that is AC square, equals the sum of the squares of the other two sides. That is AC square will be equal to AB square plus BC square. Same, utilize this diagram over here. So we'll get hypotenuse square is equal to sum of the squares of the other two sides. Let's start with the first triangle. Triangle ABC. Angle ABC is equal to 90 degrees. Therefore, triangle ABC is a right angled triangle. Over here you need to write the reason of the third property, that is angle inscribed in a semicircle. Okay, angle is inscribed in a semicircle at 90 degrees. Hence, I claim that ABC is 90 degree and triangle ABC is a right angled triangle. So therefore, AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square, which is nothing but AB square is 15 square. The numbers are very easy, so you can do it orally. 15 square 225, 20 square 400, add them, you get 625. So what will be AC then if AC square is 625? So AC will be square root of 625. You do the reverse process. So square root of 625, again this is a very familiar number. Square root of 625 is 25. So AC is equal to 625 centimeter. Now let's jump to the second triangle. Now we got the third, the second side of the second triangle, that is AC we have. So in triangle ADC, again we repeat the process. Angle ADC is equal to 90 degrees. Therefore angle inscribed, the reason is angle inscribed in a semicircle. Therefore triangle ADC is a, over here you need to write the reason by Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so triangle ADC is a right angled triangle. Therefore AC square, hypotenuse will remain the same. AC square is equal to AD square plus CD square. We want to know what is CD. So subtracting AD from both the sides, we get CD square is equal to AC square minus AD square. Reason, Pythagoras theorem. Now what will be CD then? Substitute the values of AC square and AD square. What is AC? 25 square minus AD square is 24 square. Again very familiar numbers. 25 square is 625. We can reverse this process. Minus 24 square is 576. Subtracting, we get because it was CD square, when I take CD, it will be square root of this. Okay, so square root of this will give you square root of 49. So CD is equal to square root of 49, that is 7 centimeters. Don't forget to write the units in which the sums are given. Okay, with this we finish this sum. Let's move on to the last problem for the day. Okay, it says, it shows there is a circle with center O. How do I conclude that it's a center O? Because radius is OA, that is 8 centimeters. If this is the radius, that means O is the center. So OA 8 centimeters, OB will obviously be 8 centimeters because they both are the radii of the same circle. So I can write the values in my own diagram. 8 centimeter, 8 centimeters. Tangent AT is 15 centimeters. Tangent AT is 15 centimeters. Okay. Again, we can use our third property or the second property, that PA will be equal to BT. Okay, from the property TA will be equal to TB. The third property the second property states that two tangents can be drawn from a point outside the circle. So T is a point outside the circle, two tangents can be drawn, and TA will be equal to TB. So I can write over here TA is equal to TB. Therefore TB is equal to 15 centimeter, and the reason will be tangents drawn from a point outside the circle to the circle are equal. So TA is equal to TB, which is equal to 15 centimeter, or TB or BT, whatever. It means the same thing. We are supposed to find BT or TB, whatever. I can change over here. BT also, TB also. No, I don't have any problem with that. Next, we are supposed to find OT, that is the length of the center from the point T. So we all know the first property, that is the radius is perpendicular to the tangent. Okay, so radius is perpendicular to the tangent. So this angle is 90 degree from first property. So again, in triangle AOT, OT is the hypotenuse because it is the angle opposite the right angle, and this triangle is a right angle triangle. Therefore, I write over here angle OAT is equal to 90 degrees. Reason I'll write the property, that is radius at the point of contact to the tangent. The point of contact to the tangent is perpendicular to the tangent. That's my first property. I can frame it in my own words if you don't remember the perfect statements. So radius at the point of contact to the tangent is perpendicular to the tangent at that point. Okay. Therefore, triangle OAT is a right angled triangle, and therefore I can write OT square is equal to AT square plus OA square by Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem states that hypotenuse square is equal to sum of the squares of the other two sides. So I'll substitute the values. AT square is 15 square, OA square is 8 square, gives me, so 15 square is 225 plus 8 square is 64, total gives me 289. That is my OT square. So OT will be square root of 289, and that is 17 centimeters. With this, we find the length of both BT and OT. So with this we end the video, and thank you for watching it. Stay safe, keep practicing.